Hey, what's up, guys? Doing another What's Next. This is on former IBF champion, former IBF Super Featherweight champion, Tevin Farmer of the United States. He's currently my number 8 Super Featherweight in the world right now. That's 130 pounds. He last fought at the end of January when he lost the IBF Super Featherweight title to Joseph Diaz in what was considered to be worldwide a minor, an upset, but I didn't think it was an upset because I picked Diaz to win the fight. I thought it was a pretty even 50-50 fight. I thought Diaz was going to win because he had more experience against better opposition. But I guess, you know, people got caught up with Farmer and what he's been doing against low-level opposition, and you know, a lot of people pick Farmer to beat Diaz, but I picked Diaz to win. He took a close decision win. Farmer cited that he hurt his hand in the fight, but he was given a clean bill of health after, so I don't know what that means. I do know that he did have a mandatory rematch in the contract, and it was a close fight, so I'd like to see it again. But right now it's kind of up in there what's going to happen because the IBF reinstated undefeated Shavkat Rakhimov. They reinstated him as the number 1 contender for their mandatory number 1 contender. He had some drug issue, problems during his last fight, so they reinstated him, and now we don't know if he's going to get the next shot or if Farmer's going to get the next shot. So personally, I think Farmer will get the next shot because it's in the contract, and that happened prior to the result of their fight happened prior to them reinstating Shavkat Rakhimov. But, you know, and if they fight again, I think it's a 50-50 fight. Personally, I pick Diaz again because I just think he's got, you know, the better style to win the fight. But I do think Farmer could win. It could go either way. So, but I'm not going to go off. Well, I'm going to kind of do a mix when I run through the top 10 right now of possibilities based on if he gets the fight or if he doesn't. It really is up in the air because I honestly don't know. I'm leaning towards he's going to get the fight, but I don't know for sure. So because I don't know for sure, I'm gonna play it off as you know, I'm gonna kind of mix it into both when I run through the top 10, if that makes sense. So let's take a look at what's next for former world champion Tevin Farmer. Start with number 1 at 130, and that's the reigning WBC champion Miguel Berchelt. Berchelt's lined up to make a mandatory against Oscar Valdez. He's also a top-ranked guy, and Tevin Farmer's with Matchroom. You know, Farmer's coming off a loss, so if for some reason Farmer didn't get the fight with Diaz, and he fought Berchelt, you know, I doubt Berchelt, he would get that fight because he's already coming off of a loss. So I doubt Berchelt would give him the opportunity. Number 2 is a rematch with Joseph Diaz. Personally, I think that's going to happen for the IBF title, but again, I'm not 100%, but I do believe that's what's going to happen next for Farmer. Number 3 is WBA Super Champion Leo Santa Cruz. This fight doesn't look like it's going to happen next. It looks like Santa Cruz is moving up to 135 to meet Gervonta Davis for the WBA regular championship, but that's not 100%. We don't know yet. Number 4 after Leo Santa Cruz is I'm drawing a blank right now, is undefeated Oscar Valdez, the former featherweight champ. Not going to happen. He's lined up to face Miguel Berchelt next. That fight's going to happen. Pretty sure that fight's going to happen. It's a mandatory fight, so pretty sure we're going to see those two guys lock horns next. Number 5 is WBA regular champion Rene Alvarado. Now, they're both with DAZN. Alvarado's with Golden Boy, Farmer's with Matchroom. Possible, but with him coming off the loss, I don't think Golden Boy would risk having their guy Alvarado lose the title to Farmer right now. Farmer's not even ranked in the WBA ratings, so why even push for a fight against a guy who's coming off of a loss? So I don't see it. And plus Alvarado was making like somewhat of a mandatory defense against his number 2 contender in his next fight. Number 6, Mickey Roman. Depending on who he's with, I wouldn't be surprised if Roman and Farmer were to get together. But I know Roman at least, you know, as far as I know, was working with Top Rank, but both his fights last year were not on ESPN, so I'm really not sure who he's with right now. But I think he's probably with Zanfer or one of those guys, you know, those lesser promoters outside of the top 4, so they're willing to work with anybody. So I can see them locking horns. These two guys possibly getting together in some kind of eliminator to move up the chains if Farmer doesn't happen next, or just to stay busy for Farmer. Number 7 is WBO champion Jamel Herring. Not seeing this one. Herring's fighting Carl Frampton next, plus he's a top-ranked guy. Farmer doesn't bring that title to the table anymore, so wouldn't make sense anyways. But yeah, no, he's got something to do next, so far this fight's not happening. Number 8 is Tevin Farmer. Number 9 is Andrew Cancio, also now a top-ranked guy, so I don't see these two guys locking horns. You know, Bob Arum risking putting Cancio over, especially in his next fight. Cancio's coming off a loss, so I doubt it. And then finally at number 10 is, geez, guys, I don't know why I'm drawing such a blank right now, but I believe number 10 at Super Featherweight, is Joan O'Carroll. Now, this fight is possible if Farmer doesn't get the rematch with Joseph Diaz, because they're both matchroom guys. Carroll's going to be looking for an opponent anyways, and it's a rematch. So I think Farmer would be like, well, I already beat this guy. You know, Carroll's coming off of a big win. So I don't think Farmer would be opposed to it to stay busy and to stay against the top-level fighter. I don't think he would rule it out because he's already comfortable. He's already beat him, and Farmer's desperate to find top opposition. So he might just say, fuck it, and fight him again. But I'll lean towards a no, but I think it could happen. So that's it for the top 10 with Tevin Farmer. What do I think he's going to do next? Personally, I think he's going to face Joseph Diaz in a rematch, and then the sky's the limit. I don't know. I don't know if he wins or loses that fight. Personally, I would pick Diaz again, but I really do think it's close to a 50-50 fight and could go either way. But I picked Diaz the first time, I think, you know, for a reason, and I think he just has the better style and he could beat him. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's it. That's the what's next on former super featherweight champ Tevin Farmer. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, been hit with the truth.